Hi YouTube, I'm the Average Beau, and today we're going to be taking apart my dad's laptop. So this laptop came with no distinguishing marks. As you can see, you may or not be able to see this. There's no marks on here as to what the model number is. There's nothing on the front. Whenever I open it, there's nothing here as well. Just the JBL speaker, the 7th Gen i5, and we know that it's a Yoga, which means it's a Lenovo, which is also printed right there. But otherwise, we don't know. So what I did is I went into the system here. The screen, as I'll show you right now, is kind of a little wonky. Doesn't really work. So that's what we've been working on. But since I can't get the screen to come on, I hooked up a mini HDMI, micro HDMI, sorry, to this laptop, to my monitor. And here I went to the search button next to the start menu and typed in system information. And if you click on the link or hit enter, it will bring you to a spot that has a bunch of information, including the model number and some of the build numbers and stuff. This one here from there I found is the 710 15 IBK or the 80V50. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. The 710 number though did help me find some screens on eBay and Amazon and the like, but they're like 150. Not really looking to repair this for that much, so hopefully we can get in here and find out that just the panel's disconnected and whatnot. Doesn't look like it wants to come on. It's been a little finicky. Says it's on, screen's not really doing anything. Either way, kind of blinks. And see if I can get this going here. Let's see. This may be one of those moments where I cut it and then come back to it not working. Maybe not though. Let's see here. There we go. So all white screen. If you move it, see how it flashes, it kind of stays on, doesn't stay on. If I hold it there, it's good. Otherwise, it just goes crazy, right? So that obviously does not work correctly. We are going to shut it all the way off here and then continue on. Now that it's all the way off, judging by this light. By the way, manufacturers, if any of you are watching, please stop putting this button on the side. It's severely annoying, and I can never tell if I'm actually pressing it or not. But a little bit about my Workspace. I do like iFixit. I am not sponsored by them at all. My alarm on my watch is going off. Oh, sorry about that. So I do like iFixit. I have the toolkit. I've got this little magnet thing that you can write on. I don't. I just put my screws in little segments based on when I've used them. And then this little mat here is an anti-static mat. It's just one I got off of Amazon. It is not the iFixit one. The iFixit one was like an extra 20 bucks. It's probably better. This one kind of rolls up on the edges. Not a big fan of it. I know a lot of people choose not to use anti-static wristbands or mats. I am choosing to use it. 1, because it's a nice white background. 2, because it is winter right now when I'm shooting this. The humidity in my house is about 23 to 26, depending on the time of day. Anything below 40 is going to get static electricity. So what I'm basically trying to do is use this to kind of disperse some of that electrical charge and trickle it out and whatnot. So computer parts, not so much of an issue with. Laptop parts aren't really meant to be handled, so they are more susceptible to static charges. You don't really want that to happen because that is a lot of volts at a low amperage. If you get unlucky one time and it becomes not so many volts at a higher amperage, you're going to blow something up. So anyway, that out of the way, let's go ahead and take this apart. I've already got the star bit on here. I believe it was a T5. And we're going to undo this guy. As you can see, I'm going to put all of the ones from this panel here in that first box. That way, whenever I put it together, I know which ones go where. Makes it a little bit easier. But so everything online was saying that this is a 4K monitor. It might be. If it is, that might explain the cost that we're seeing. I really, really hope that I can fix it from the inside, maybe reconnect a loose wire, something like that, maybe solder something in. If I don't get to solder very often, I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind doing that. I apologize. I am not going to edit that out. All right, so let's see here. Maybe I should stop talking and start working, right? All right. Oh yeah, as you might notice, I have another camera this time around. I borrowed my niece's GoPro Hero 5 and I'm checking that out. That's the one that I'm looking at right now. And I bought another light for it because I thought, why not? All right, let's see if we can get this guy off of here. Ooh, that's going to be a little tricky. All right. Use this guy probably. So I'm going to try to use the spudger here. I'm not sure if it disconnects there or further in. Got all the screws up. All right, let's open her up, see if there's a better way. Nope, keyboard doesn't come out. Sometimes you'll find that the keyboard is one solid piece. Usually there's a screw on the bottom that will unlock that. Then you pop the keyboard out and there's more screws to it underneath. In this case, there is not. So it looks like it just disconnects. So I don't like that. Maybe add this one. Don't want to scratch it. Ooh, there we go. That port might be beneficial. This is going to be a trickier one than I thought it was going to be. All right, gloves are off, buddy. They're coming out of there one way or another. Oh, just realized I'm probably in the exact spot of the camera. Come on. And I guess this is why the average bow does this, because I didn't try this beforehand. Probably should have, I guess. Come on. I bet you there's something about it that I don't know about. Something under here probably. Nope, just a soft foot. Thing is welded. You're coming off of here, buddy. One way or another. Ultrabooks, am I right? There we go. Finally. Wow, that sucked. All right. Let's put that over there. Move those. Gotta have that. Sorry. That's my coffee tin. All right. Now that we've got it open, we've got all this metal around it we don't want. Number one thing I'm doing, keeping my hand here. Number two thing I'm doing, grabbing a pair of tweezers. And then I am going to pull this off. Why is my hand on this? It's because I am touching the battery. Come on, buddy. All right, well, you're coming out the hard way. Pop that one there. The GoPro that was actually watching this shut off on me halfway through that video. Well, actually 8 minutes into it. So I recorded another half hour of me taking the machine apart, and well, here we are. So I've got the screen detached. I've taken the motherboard out, removed a bunch of the pieces. As you can see over here, I've got my battery, or not my battery, my screws all lined up as the process has gone on. Be a little bit more mindful of that camera and see if we can maybe get this to go a little smoother this time. But now we're at the point where we are actually working on the monitor, the part that we need to access. As you can see, it is just as sealed as the other device. So what we need to do is get this bottom frame out, and then hopefully it will pull out. And how we're going to do that is there are these little rubber feet fillers, whatever you want to call them, in the sides here. We're going to pull those out. There should be screws under there, and then we should be able to get in here, hopefully. I haven't done this on this one yet, so maybe we will have some luck here. You want to be somewhat careful because ideally you want to put these back in for your customer or friend or whoever you're doing this for, in this case it is my dad, trying to make it to where he does not have to buy a new laptop. And alrighty, so let's see here. Let's see how lucky we get. Not very, it's gonna seem. Or, oh, slightly more. Alright, let's see here. Cool. How do we get this baby off here? Out of curiosity, is this a possibility? Nope. Alright. That must mean that you come out of here as well. Who do you work for? Well, there goes the light. I guess I'm going to pause and I'm going to charge all of this up here, and then we will continue once everything is cooperating again. So yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna maybe see if I can get this piece off. I'll probably put it back for the video, but just kind of get us headed in a direction. That way you don't have to see me just kind of mystery take it apart. Although that may be what we're here for. Anyway, I will be back once we get the cameras under control. I appreciate your patience. Thank you. And I'm back. It's 3 days later. I've had a chance to charge the cameras and the lights. The reason why it's 3 days later is I've also had a chance to look at the actual screen itself and see where we need to head from there. But before we get into that part, let me go backwards here and kind of show you where we are with the rest of the parts. So the part that we were missing earlier in the video is whenever I took apart the actual laptop. As you can see here, the motherboard, the battery, everything's missing. This is the other side of that panel. I have the motherboard, battery, all of our screws still in the places that I have kept them. Wireless card and M.2 NVMe over there. Fan and such right here. So I got to looking at the monitor itself, and I noticed that there are these tabs here. I don't know if you'll be able to actually see them, but there are two little, what are basically 3M double-sided tape tabs, which means that this is going to be a huge pain. And so the reason why it has been 3 days is I have been looking for the Lenovo tape as well as any other options. The Lenovo tape costs $14.99 from Lenovo. They're out of stock on it. Everywhere else had it for 20 bucks, and it was going to take me about a month to get. So I ordered some permanent tape that will hold it off of Amazon. It was supposed to be here today, has not shown up yet. So we will probably not be able to put it back on, but we will definitely take it off, see if we can fix it. And then if we can, I will put it back on. If it happens today, then I will continue to record it. If it ends up being later this week, I'll probably just put the video up on YouTube for you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back together so that we don't have a bunch of parts. Since it is a Yoga, it will fold down anyway. And I'm actually probably going to do that in high speed, so I'll catch you in a little bit. So we have the machine most of the way together. I've left this cover off here. I don't know if you noticed in the sped up put together there, rebuild, but the monitor did come on. I had decided that I was going to test it just to be safe, you know, see if we got lucky, and sure enough we did. We're going to double check that here in just a second, and then we're going to put the backing back on. But I guess the moral of today's story is always start small and work your way up, because I believe that in this case, this particular connection was loose. Now, it could have been really anything on here, but more than likely this was loose or the cable was too tight or something like that. So As far as right now, we got lucky and didn't have to take apart the monitor. That was not going to be fun. I wasn't too excited or thrilled about doing that because of the tape. I didn't want to put it together with that tape that I bought, that permanent tape, just because if it happened again, then you're looking at a new laptop, unless you use a heat gun. But that's not a repair that most people want to do, so we got lucky here. So I'm going to try out the monitor again just so everybody can see it, and we'll go from there. Put this back underneath it so that we can tilt it up without issue here. All right, I mean, so far it doesn't seem to have any, try to tilt it like I was, it seems fine. That is the luckiest I think I've ever gotten with the most amount of issues as far as cameras and things like that are happening, which, by the way, I think I figured it out. This camera, I believe, is overheating with that light now that it's not in the waterproof case and is shutting off. So I'm going to look into a way to maybe resolve that. But we have gotten lucky. I'm going to put the pieces back into the monitor here, bolt this back up, and then I'll see you in a second. That repair went better than I anticipated. I apologize that we didn't get to see the entire teardown of the laptop. That was my original goal, but unfortunately, due to some camera issues, that just didn't work out that way. But I do get to give this laptop back to my dad without any expensive parts cost or anything like that, so that's fantastic. But anyway, if you like the video, please drop a like. If you feel like sticking around to see any of the other stuff I end up doing, please subscribe. If you have any suggestions on videos to do or comments on how to make these videos better, please comment below. Otherwise, have an above average day.